Hi, and welcome to 3 Things in 3 Minutes. I'm Nersi. Today we are looking at Dawn of Ulos. From Thunderworks games, it plays 1 to 5 players and plays about 60 to 90 minutes. What it's about, Dawn of Ulos is a tile-laying economic game that's set as a prequel in the role-player universe. Players play gods controlling 5 factions chosen out of 10 each game. So each turn players will place a 2-hex development tile on the board on matching terrain, either establishing a faction's base or expanding its territory. Now the faction gains strength for each territory space matching its 2 preferred types, increasing its card's ability power and its buy and sell favor costs. Now, if placing a tile connects 2 territories, a conflict begins, and the players each secretly and simultaneously play cards to trigger abilities and increase the faction's strength. The winning faction annexes the territory, the players need to sell off a minimum of half of their played cards, and the losing faction gets removed to hopefully get placed again. Now, after the tile laying, the players may also buy up to 3 cards or sell 1 back and activate its ability. The game ends when 2 factions max out their strength or when all of the tiles run out, and the players earn additional favor for each card they have based on the faction's strength. What I like. Now, this game's buy low, sell high core gameplay means it actually has more in common with railroad stock trading games than the combat area control games. And since you don't control any faction and can change your allegiances quickly throughout the game, you can do it based on how well a faction is doing. And this mechanic leads to particularly interesting decisions between using cards for powerful effects for a smaller payout or hanging on to them hoping for a higher endgame score. And the game has some variation in the gameplay due to the variable setup of the factions you choose and, to a lesser extent, the 6 modular board pieces. And it also features a relatively low upkeep solo mode that's quick to play and some nice looking faction-based minis that are just begging to be painted. Now, points to consider. Though all of the players' gods are named and have backstories, they're all identical, and the players have no special abilities to distinguish themselves. And like in many economic games, it can be hard to know where to start in the game because all of the factions start the same, so you'll find that your first few turns are dictated by what tiles you draw, and you hope for the best. And you will need to hope, because if you're investing heavily in a faction that gets obliterated in a conflict late in the game, even though you can still sell the cards to recoup some of the cost, it can be hard to bounce back. And keeping track of the territories on the board is a bit harder than it needs to be, since the only thing distinguishing an occupied space is that there's a tile on it with a white border, and that problem could have easily been solved by having the board be a slightly different shape. So in summary, it's an interesting mix of tile laying and stock purchasing, though it means that early turns can feel aimless. It has some meaningful decisions between selling and saving cards, though your fortunes can turn quickly in confrontations, and it has some good variability in the setup of factions on the map, though the player roles themselves lack any asymmetry. Thanks so much for watching. Please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.